getting ready to go for my workout, and I saw a message that the Francis Key Bridge in Baltimore has collapsed, that there are hundreds of casualties expected. And so I'm just coming out publicly just to check on all of my knockouts from Baltimore, your families, friends, extended family. Because if hundreds of casualties are expected, that means that there are going to be many people who are affected by this bridge collapsing, not just from those who were on the bridge and their extended families, but also the trauma and uncertainty of when calamity happens in our area. So I just wanted to check on everyone and see how you all are doing, because this is unfolding right now. Well, oh my goodness, what's this? We're going to look at a few videos and see what is going on, what has happened. I'm just finding out about this. I'm not planning on being on for very long. I just wanted to just kind of see how you all were doing. And if you don't know what has happened, have you all reach out to those in your network, in your extended network, and just kind of do a check on people who you know who are in the surrounding area. As you know, Baltimore is a part of Maryland, and the DMV area is heavily populated. This is one of the hubs of our nation's capital. Okay, so I'm giving you all a few moments to come on in. Welcome. Okay, so Chrissy is in Baltimore. Chrissy, how are you doing? Have you had a chance to reach out to people that you know, people that cross that bridge in the morning? What is the atmosphere like? Um, I'm going to open up the phone line. So I want some people in Baltimore to just let us know how are things on the ground in Baltimore right now. I'm going to play the video and look at some news reports, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines. We are going to be on here for about half an hour. There's the text notification that just went out. So we're going to be on here for about half an hour. And then let me get my light on so that we can make this an official broadcast. Okay. Oh my word, my stars and stripes. Okay. I'm trying to hide my workout clothes underneath my shirt. Okay, so welcome in everybody. I'm your host, Tonya TKO. I am a self-love specialist from TonyaTKO.com. I hope you learn how to love yourselves after relationship trauma. On this channel, we react to viral stories and look for the teachable lesson in that story. If you're not a part of my other page, please go there. I uploaded a video earlier today about a woman in the UK who had given birth just a few days, 2 days before, and her husband is demanding that she makes a pot roast. It's very strange. My other page is Tonya TKO Clips. So that's what we do typically. This morning, I'm checking in on people, my knockouts in your extended family who are in Baltimore and affected by the bridge collapse. So welcome in. I hope everyone is doing well this morning as can be expected. This is just crazy. I haven't seen, this is my first time going to see this with you all right now. So if you're just getting here, we're just getting started. We're going to be looking at the video and going from there. All right. Oh my goodness. So this big ship crashed into the bridge. So right now what we're seeing is footage of a cargo ship crashed into a bridge. Apparently it was just too high to go under. Isn't that a Michael Jackson song? Too high to go over, too low to go. You know what we're talking about. Wow. So I guess this is live footage. Let's take a look and see if we can. So this is what it looks like right now. I am only hoping that there were no cars on the bridge, but hundreds of casualties are expected. This is terrible. This is terrible. You know, this is just a reminder to me about how craziness can happen at any time in our lives, and that we really have to be grateful for the days that are placid. Let's look for and then we will, you know what, let's see if we can, if there is, okay. So here's the news report. A container ship rammed into a major bridge in Baltimore early today, causing it to snap and plunge into the river below. Several vehicles fell into the chilly waters and rescuers searched for survivors. It was also not clear what caused the cargo ship to crash into the Francis Scott Key Bridge long before the busy morning commute in what one official called a developing mass casualty event. In a major American city just outside of Washington, 2 people were rescued, and it's not clear how many more might be in the waters of the busy harbor near a key port. They're saying that they do not believe that it's a terrorist attack. This cargo ship looks like it has a lot of cargo containers on there. There's no explosion. You know, a lot of these cargo ships are coming in from China. Anything is possible. This reminds me of 9/11 when there was just so little information out, but they are saying that they do not believe that this is terror related. There's no explosions. The cargo ships, I mean, but why would it ram in there? Did it not know its height? All right. Let me pause this because I'm hearing some crackling from the cameras. The ship crashed into one of the bridge's supports, causing the structure to break apart like a toy. It crumbled into the water in a matter of seconds. A shocking spectacle that was captured on video and posted on social media. The vessel caught fire and thick black smoke billowed out of it. Never would you think you would physically see the Key Bridge tumble down like that. It looked like something out of an action movie, said Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott, calling it an unthinkable tragedy. Fire Chief James Wallace said authorities, quote unquote, may be looking for upwards of 7 people, but said that number could change and other officials wouldn't give figures. It was not clear if the 2 rescued were included in the 7 cited by the fire chief. Authorities said a crew of unknown size was working on the bridge at the time of the collapse, and that sonar had detected cars in the water, which is about 50 feet, 15 meters deep. The water temperature was about 47 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 8 degrees Celsius, before dawn. According to a buoy that collects data for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Earlier, Kevin Cartwright, Director of Communications and those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about the Francis Key Bridge in Baltimore. It collapsed after a container ship hit one of its supports. They're saying that there are about 5 cars that they know of in the water. There could be more. Earlier, Kevin Cartwright, Director of Communications for the Baltimore Fire Department, told the Associated Press that several vehicles were on the bridge at the time of the collapse, including one the size of a tractor-trailer truck. The bridge came down in the middle of the night when traffic would be lighter than during the day when thousands of cars traversed the span. Cartwright called the collapse a developing mass casualty event, though he didn't know at the time how many people were affected. Synergy Marine Group, which owns and manages the ship, called the Dolly. So the ship is called the Dolly, DALI. Confirmed the vessel hit a pillar of the bridge at about 1:30 a.m. while in control of one or more pilots who are local specialists who help navigate vessels safely into ports. It said all crew members, including the two pilots on board, were accounted for, and there were no reports of any injuries. Of course not. This is the ship that did the hitting. As the sun rose Tuesday, which is today, jagged remnants of the bridge were illuminated, jutting up from the water's surface. The on-ramp ended abruptly where the span once began. Okay, now they're getting all poetic with it. Governor Westmore declared a state of emergency and said he was working to get federal resources deployed. The FBI was on the scene but said there was no credible information to suggest terrorism. President Joe Biden was briefed. The Dolly was headed from Baltimore to Colombo, Sri Lanka, and flying under a Singapore flag, according to the data from marine traffic. The container ship is about 985 feet, which is 300 meters long, and 157 feet, 48 meters wide. According to the website, Danish shipping giant Maersk said that it had chartered the vessel, which was carrying its customers' cargo. No Maersk's crew and personnel were on board. The collapse caused Maersk's ship and the Nasdaq Copenhagen to plummet 2% in early Tuesday trading. In 2001, a freight train carrying hazardous materials derailed in a tunnel in downtown Baltimore and caught fire, spewing black smoke into the surrounding. The story is still developing. Let's see this footage. Let's see if we go, how far back does it go? The footage, let's see. Unbelievable. Let's see if we can see video. This is from USA Today. This is the moment of its collapse. Oh my goodness. This music is disturbing. So this is the bridge collapsing. It doesn't look like it hit one of the pillars to me. Let's go back. Oh yeah, that's one of the pillars holding it up. So let me pause it. So as you see in the bridge, okay, this is a pillar right here, and this is a pillar right there. You see the truss coming down? So this is when it hit it. Wow. Wow. Well, you know, there's cameras up everywhere, so who knows where this footage came from? Probably from one of the surveillance cameras. It's a 1.6 mile, let's read some of this. The Francis Key Scott Bridge is a 1.6 mile, 4-lane bridge that crosses over the Patapsco River, according to the MDTA. It opened in 1977. Mm, mm, mm. Somebody's saying there's a video that shows the direct hit. Oh my goodness. And then it just falls apart. The Baltimore City Fire Department described the collapse as a mass casualty event and are searching for people in the river. Wow. And then there's smoke coming out. We'll zoom in here. We'll zoom in at the point of impact. This is from Reuters. So this is the ship traveling so close to the pillar. All of this was unnecessary and avoidable because you see, they could pass. You see, there's space, but they're too close to the pillar. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. And it's sad that this bridge was held up so that if this pillar is hit, we have to come up with better bridge designs. We must. We must. Because there was no alternative support. All right, listen, I'm going to open up the phone lines. I would love for someone someone's saying the ship lost power. I guess the story's still developing. I want to hear from someone in Baltimore to let us know what things are like on the ground. Phone lines are open, 323. The number is right here on the screen, 323-488-3149. It is very frightening. What's most jarring to me about this is that tragedy can strike at any time. It's like you never know when you're going about your business, and then something goes from an ordinary day into a very, very terrible day. Phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. Call in live, please. Someone in Baltimore, if you're in Baltimore and you can call in, put up the number 1 or raise your hand. I just want to hear how things are on the ground in Baltimore. I just want to hear how things are. What is the backup like? What is the energy and the atmosphere like in Baltimore this morning? How are people coping? What's the general state of mind? How are things going? The ship lost power after impact. There was no emergency call sent. It was reported. Interesting. So the captain of this ship needs to be held liable. All of these lives affected by this captain's carelessness. A news conference will be occurring very soon on what channel/platform? Let's see. Let me go out. Who is covering it? I don't think who's covering it so that we can. Yeah, and that's the thing. There are a lot of people who have fears of bridges. And it's like, how do you ever feel comfortable? And in New York, we are connected by bridges. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, this is Joyce. I'm calling from Maryland. Just wanted to call and just speak on this very briefly. I'm
Okay.
actually off today,
Okay.
right? We're waiting on the governor, Wes Moore, to speak and say something. We do
Yeah.
have the support of Brandon Scott, who is the Baltimore mayor.
Okay.
But what's concerning about this, thankfully, I mean, of course, this is a tragedy, right? But from tragedies come hopefully better safety measures
Mm-hmm.
for bridges and ships and stuff like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
how can we help large cargo ships that have gone rogue like that? Like what can we do to prevent this from
Yeah.
happening? I don't think that it was intentional. I don't.
Right.
But what is concerning is that bridge went down like it was made of pencil sticks.
Yeah.
So what's going on with these shaky bridges? And how many more shaky bridges are there? This was Baltimore, but it could be New York, it could be San
Yeah.
Francisco. So perhaps we can, from this tragedy, there can be better bridge maintenance regulations and stuff like that. When I seen the footage of that, I was like, how did it? Like, what was this made of? Cheap Legos or something?
I mean, but that's a big ship. So somebody is saying that Fox is live right now. Let me take a look on YouTube. Where are they broadcasting live at? There's somebody just told me Fox is broadcasting live right now about this bridge. So let us see whether or not, okay, Fox live Baltimore Bridge collapse, 2 people rescued. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, you know what the thing about it
So
is that that was a big, heavy ship. And so,
yeah,
7 people are
that's
believed
true.
to be unaccounted for at this point.
okay, so I'm going to tune into the news broadcast. What are things like on the ground right now in Baltimore?
Well, 695, where the bridge is at, is completely like clear because they shut it down. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, if you're in Baltimore, you have to use I-95 and
Mm-hmm.
I-895 instead of 695.
Okay.
So of course, traffic is ridiculous, but they should take all the time they need to rescue people.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. How are you doing psychologically, mentally?
I'm fine. I'm fine because I actually live in the southern part of Maryland. So
Okay.
my parents who don't live in Maryland, they knew about this before I did. So when I was
Oh,
talking to them in the
wow.
morning like I always do, they told me, and that's when I turned the news on and seen what happened. So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it's upsetting. It's upsetting, but I'm glad it's getting the news coverage. I'm glad you're talking about it. Thank you for your care and concern. And I really, really hope that, more bridge safety and ship safety can come about
Yeah.
from this. I don't think it was
Yeah.
intentional. Thank you so much for taking my call, Tonya. Love you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so let's look at this news footage. Let's see.
We do know that search crews are on the water looking for any survivors. There were also folks who were working on the bridge at the time it was struck, and cars have been detected underwater by sonar. So there is still a lot left to figure out here. We are hoping to get some more details as we do get that news conference underway. I did zoom in so you can see a little bit better as those microphones are set up and ready to go. In the meantime, let's check in with our Fox 5 DC team for more of their breaking.
Okay.
Me, but never what you think.
All right, let's go back a little bit.
Yeah, I would just say initially, when you get here, there's that rush. You're seeing it, you're just like, oh my gosh, look at that. I can't believe it. And then when you start to understand the human toll, the human cost here, it definitely starts to sink in. Definitely a lot more somber, a lot more quiet and respectful as people are understanding the situation that is going on here. We're seeing some more vehicles roll up here, but I think I got a minute to have you listen to how Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott reacted early this morning.
You know what this just brings to mind? It brings to mind how we have all of these all of these lines and controls on the roadways, but the waterways are wide open. And what is this going to mean for ship traffic control? In terms of making sure that, because this is a threat to every major city that has bridges, because people on ships can just go underneath there and with explosives, and then the next thing you know, a city is devastated. Like, we have all of these controls in place for people not getting into certain areas with their vans and all of this other stuff, but ships can just go up to a bridge. Thank goodness this didn't happen during rush hour.
Tragedies you can never imagine, right? And I was awake when Chief Wallace called me, but never would you think that you would physically see the Key Bridge tumble down like that. It looked like something out of an action movie. And you just
Wait
think
a
about,
minute.
most
Wait,
importantly,
hold on. This is the Baltimore mayor? This guy? Wow.
which is what we all should be thinking about right now. Nothing but those families and people that are impacted, and those people who are risking their lives right now from not just Baltimore City and Baltimore County, but all over the state to try to save lives. That should be our focus, the preservation of life.
And I think, Brandon Scott there saying what everybody was feeling.
So that's
you never
Brandon
thought
Scott?
you would see this. And I got to be honest with you, we said it before, and I'll tell everybody, I was the first one that said to my assignment desk, are we sure this is real? This doesn't look real. And honestly, in this day and age, knowing what can happen with AI and those sorts of things, sometimes when you see something that
talking about
is
this isn't
literally
real,
hard to believe, you have to wonder. So now we know it
I
is
thought
all
they were
too real.
interviewing people
And,
outside
again, we're
the
starting to see
bodegas.
the
I didn't know that that was the
We're
mayor.
going to send it to traffic for just a little bit to tell you guys where you can work around it.
But you know what? This just goes to show our perception. We got to do a better job at how we
get
view
going,
people.
and then we'll pay attention to this, and we'll let you know if we need to break back in.
Yeah, thank you so much, Melanie. And she touched on it. Steve, Marissa have touched on it as well.
All right, that was our Fox 5 DC team. They have been covering this around the clock as well. And right now they are speaking about the traffic impact. So I did want to take you out to this live image we have showing the aftermath. You can see the ship right there that did strike the bridge with the actual bridge pieces still on top of it, most of it, though, falling into the water. At this point, we are waiting for that news conference to get underway with the Maryland governor. My understanding is that there will also be local and state officials there as well. A lot left to figure out as an investigation will now be launched. But if you are just joining us, I want to make sure to bring you the very latest information after this container ship right there on your...
Is this the governor? Oh, wow. Baltimore, you all are doing it out there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's hold on a minute now. Hold on a minute.
That it snapped like a popsicle stick is how she described it. Looks like this news conference is now getting underway, so let's pop up the audio.
Thank you all for being here. This morning, our state is in... And I want to take this moment to speak directly to the people of our state. To our first responders, I'm in awe of you. I'm in awe of your courage. I'm in awe of your strength. I'm in awe of everything you do for each and every one of us. You saw a crisis, and you said, what can I do to help? And our response teams are doing everything in our power to rescue and recover the victims of this collapse, literally as we speak. People who, as we speak, are out there, are divers, are air assets. People who right now are working to save lives and are doing it because the state asked. And we will update the public as the work continues. To our partners inside and outside of government, I know this has been a long night. We started coordinating immediately after the Key Bridge collapsed. We've been standing together every step of the way, from our county leadership, to our city leadership, to our state leadership, to our federal leadership. And I'm grateful to call each and every one of you not just colleagues, but I'm grateful to call you friends. And to the people of Baltimore, and each and every one of the 6.3 million Marylanders who call our state home. I recognize that many of us are hurting right now. I recognize that many of us are scared right now. And so I want to be very clear about where everything stands. We are still investigating what happened, but we are quickly gathering details. The preliminary investigation points to an accident. We haven't seen any credible evidence of a terrorist attack. Our administration is working closely with leaders from all levels of government and society to respond to this crisis, and not but just by addressing the immediate aftermath, but also by building a state that is more resilient and a state that's more safe. That is our pledge, and that's our commitment, and we're going to keep that commitment. And lastly, to the victims of this tragedy and their loved ones, all of our hearts are broken. We feel your loss. We're thinking of you, and we will always be thinking of you. We pray for the construction workers who are on the Key Bridge, and we pray for everyone who has been touched by this tragedy and their families and all of their loved ones. But Maryland, we will get through this, because that is the Maryland spirit, And that's what Maryland is made of. We are Maryland tough, and we are Baltimore strong. So in the face of heartbreak, we come together. We embrace one another, and we come back stronger. That's what we've always done. That's what we'll continue to do. And that's what we're going to get done together. And we're going to pray for Baltimore. And I'd like to turn this over to Senator Van Hollen, who's done a remarkable job in our fellow delegation in providing support. So thank you, Senator.
All right.
Thank you, Governor. As the governor said, we come together. We come together in Baltimore, we come together in Maryland.
All right. I mean, this is a shock. After seeing the mayor and the governor, I was startled for a moment, but let me bring myself back together. Yeah, so this is unbelievable. I'm going to open back up the phone lines again. 323-488-3149. I want to hear from someone in Baltimore to hear how things are on the ground. The Navy SEALs are on it. They're going to try real hard. I know that for sure. Yeah, you know, this is a nightmare for so many people. This is just, it's just crazy. Sid says, I'm in Baltimore. Can you call in 323-488-3149? Let us know how things are on the ground. And so Canelo is saying we should be worried. Even if this is an accident, it gives ideas how weak infrastructure is. Yes, exactly. And Bridget has a fear of bridges. You can't make this stuff up. Can't make this stuff up. All right, we're gonna take one more phone call from someone in Baltimore. Then we're going to do 90 seconds of dance. Remember, you don't have to know how to dance. All you have to do is just move. That's it. Just move, get your heart rate up, because we've been sitting for how long have we been sitting? We've been sitting for 30 minutes. So we definitely want to continue to keep our bodies moving. And I'm hoping that these movement breaks can be a reminder to you in your everyday life, even when you're not on my broadcast, that you got to get up and move, that you can't just continue to sit down and let the blood pool around in your feet. You got to get up, get it pumping, okay? Negligence is all I see. I feel you. 323-488-3149. Phone lines are open. And so Soju is saying y'all need to get out of them big cities. So where are people supposed to go? See, you know how cities became cities, right? Cities became cities. I mean, it wasn't always a big city. It was uninhabited. So if people from the big cities move to the rural areas, then those will become the cities. So it's like people have to be somewhere. You know what I'm saying? People, it's the city because it's so populous. And so Alexa says, can we do a meditation break instead of a dancing break? This is so somber. No, we need to get up and we need to move. We need to get up and move. 323-488-3149. El says, or I can't see the full name, El Sheba. I live in Louisville, Kentucky. Barges have hit the bridges here several times. Recently, there was an accident on one of the bridges and a semi truck was hanging off the side of the bridge. The bridge was shut down and rapidly reopened within hours, even though part of the bridge deck was damaged. We have a second bridge that is being repaired, but was immediately shut down when they discovered the beams were not aligning. It was inspected, but was given the go. Oh my gracious goodness. Why not? Oh my goodness. Someone else is talking.
Partners all along the way. We will bring whatever resources that the FBI has to bear. We've already brought our crisis response, our victim services, and just recently our underwater search evidence recovery teams are on site.
So these are the officials.
And we will
So
continue
is no one
to
else
provide
from
all those
Baltimore going to
resources
call in?
as long as it takes.
323
And as the investigation goes on,
If not, we're going to do our
we will take
dance
it
break,
to
and
its
then we're
logical
going
conclusion
to
along with our
move
partners.
forward. The last thing that we
To the
want
people
is
of
in a
Baltimore, to
somber
the public,
time to stay somber and stay stagnant. Get the blood flowing, get the blood pumping, and move. It is impossible to be sad while dancing to upbeat music. Try it. Try to frown while you're dancing to upbeat music. It's impossible. Impossible. All right, so come on. Okay, listen. Okay, listen. Get up out of your seat and
And it's a ticket talking Mazda
come
for
on.
the biggest. That's a comma
Come
and a
on.
comma and a
Come
comma.
on.
Gotta get it, get it.
Come on.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda
Come
for the
on.
biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
All you gotta do is move. That's it.
Get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
Listen.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
Listen. All you gotta do is just move.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
All right.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma.
Listen, I see a lot of people writing, but you're supposed to be up, not sitting. All right? All right? Cookie confidant, especially you eating all them cookies over there. Wherever you are, just get up and just.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda
Alright.
for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma.
That's all I ask of you is just 90 seconds of movement. That's all I ask. All right. So on that note, listen, I want you all to continue on your day. Keep your head up. The self-love lesson for me in all of this, honestly, the self-love lesson for me in all of this is, in the saddest of times, continue to move. Don't let up. Get out there, get sunshine. It's like, you know, the whole fake it till you make it. All right, if you're feeling down, fine. Get up and go for your walk. Go out into the sun. Open up your blinds. Drink fresh water. Stretch, even if you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. All right? So, listen, on that note, I will see you all in the next video when we come back and we broadcast on something else. Okay? So, let's see, what's this? I will see you all in the next video. Tonya TKO, and I am out. Peace. What am I doing? I'm bugging out.